Hello, peoples of the internet. This is my Game of Thrones for seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 favorite characters. Basically, what I'm doing, if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, which I'll be linking in a bit, is I'm listing my favorite characters for the entirety of seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if they died in season 1, they're still eligible to be making the list, but obviously the more time on the screen you get, the more likely you are to probably rank. But let's continue. Hopefully, if any of you are watching this video and you've seen my previous videos, that's awesome. That would be, I'm really excited about that. Moving on. So, Game of Thrones top 10s. Here's some of the videos I made in the past. We have, these are seasons 1 and 2. So basically what I do is after every season of Game of Thrones, it's become a bit of a tradition, I make a list, except for I missed the first one. So I started this after the second one. After every season of Game of Thrones, I make my own personal list of top 10, and I post it to YouTube. And in that video, comments, you put your top 10. And based on those comments, prior to the start of the next season, I make a new video. So here's the list from seasons 1 and 2, seasons 1, 2, and 3, and I'll put annotations on the screen here if you want to click on it. And I think at the end of the video we'll have a playlist, so you can just see all the videos in one spot if you want it that way. So that's, and then here's seasons 1, 3, and 4, which is this video you're watching now, and starting in late April, no, March. In March of 2015, I'll put up the fans' favorites for seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 based on the comments on this video, and then we'll repeat the same thing leading after season 5, leading into season 6. If we manage to get that far, we'll see how it happens. One video at a time. Let's look back at my favorite characters from seasons 1, 2, and 3. Now, obviously, the best part about doing these lists is being able to see the rise and fall of characters over time, as I've mentioned in previous videos. And obviously, with every new year that the list lasts, you get to see. Like, it's kind of funny to look back and say, oh, did I really like that character that much after season 2? And I think it creates a way of keeping track of your history of liking the show, because the show is, although this wasn't the best of seasons, it's a very good show. So seasons 1, 2, and 3 favorite characters. Number 10, Cersei Lannister. She was a really, really awesome character after season 3. I really enjoy her complexities and her evilness too, like, you know what I mean. So Roose Bolton at number 9, not Robb Stark. I don't really like Robb Stark that much. Roose Bolton obviously kind of came out of nowhere in the end of season 3, really asserting himself and taking over the North to some respects. Yara, despite not getting much screen time in season 3, I think she got like 2 scenes. No, she only had 1 scene. And this was it, and for some reason that was enough for me to be like, wow, this girl is on my top 10, and she was at number 8. Number 7, Joffrey. Joffrey's, you love and hate him. He's terrible to watch as far as, like, you cannot sympathize for him, but he makes for great television, and that's really, at the core, this is still a television show, and so you need strong villains like the Joker, and Joffrey is like, he's kind of like a Joker character, only in a different aspect. So Ned Stark coming at number 6. What's to say about Ned Stark? Great man. It's frustrating to watch, like a lot of the characters on the show sometimes, how they all have their flaws, and Ned Stark's flaws were more obvious than other people's, but he was a great man, and it would be awesome to see. I almost wish we could see him now in this light. Like, if he's still living in season 4, I think that'd be really cool. But maybe we'll get another character like him. I know there's a couple that are similar to Ned Stark, but not quite as Ned Starky-ish. Jorah Mormont, he's always been a favorite of mine. Here he is at number 5. Here he is. This is at, I think this is when they were going to go and do the trading, and they ended up burning the city of Tracaris, and I think it's Yunkai. Margaery Tyrell, what a good-looking lady. And a smooth player of the Game of Thrones, so it's hard to keep her off this list. She got a lot more screen time in season 3 than she did in season 4. I don't know if she was in season 2. I don't think she was. Maybe she was. I can't remember now. She was in season 2. I'm pretty sure she was with the Baratheon, Renly Baratheon. Peter Baelish, love this man. Especially, this is probably my favorite scene of him up to this point by far. Probably my favorite scene of season 3 was Chaos is in the Pit. Chaos is a ladder. I almost forgot the saying. It's so awesome. Number 2 is Khal Drogo as he made his big reappearance. I think this was at the end of season 2. Might have been season 3. Really cool. And then the end of season 3 with the climax with Misa Misa, and that was Daenerys Targaryen. So that's my seasons 1, 2, and 3. Just to recap, so you can compare how my list changed, and then hopefully you'll have a list from previous years to compare with yours. I find it interesting. I hope you do too. Without further ado, let's get into the top 10. And a reminder, comment below with your top 10 because I'll be putting that video in March of 2015. Yes, because the season usually starts like April 1st or 2nd or something. So, 10th place, down 1 spot from his last season ranked. Not really because of anything he did, I just thought he didn't have that great a season. Well, sorry, that's totally just backwards, that statement. He had a decent season, it's just other people made more moves than him, and he didn't really get that much screen time. So, Roose Bolton, I really like what your character does and is doing, and I like the Boltons, and I like the flaying, although it's terrible. I do enjoy watching this house, and so I'm looking forward to see what they do in the future. But you didn't get enough screen time, and you kind of got bumped around. So that's number 10. Last season he was 9th. He got moved around a bit. 9th place, the Red Viper. I almost wasn't going to put him on the list, but I did ultimately. I forget who I cut. It might have been Ramsay Snow / Bolton who I cut. He was close too for being a bad villain. But this man was very good. Very dynamic character. Very fan favorite for sure. A lot of people will have him higher than this probably. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I just think that he was only there for such a short period of time, and especially being a non-book reader myself, I heard so many people talking in the books about how season 4, I can't wait to see the Red Viper and Oberyn Martell. He's gonna be the real game changer. And then he's only in it for 8 or 9 episodes, or however many. Like, for someone who was supposed to be so game changing, I was obviously very disappointed to see him go so early. But he did deserve it in some regards. I don't think he should have accepted that fight with the Mountain. He should have just killed the Mountain in his bed and gotten the revenge he wanted. He didn't want revenge, he wanted justice, and that was his downfall, like so many characters have downfalls. So obviously he was unranked last year because he didn't show up on the show. Ned Stark, he's slipping slowly over time. He's down to 8th place now. He was in 6th. Great man. I wish we could see the Starks. I wish we could see Ned Stark still around today, but we can't. They're pretty much completely gone at this point. Yeah, and they were pretty gone a while ago actually. But it's this was really, I guess, the first season you could say without any Starks leading the way, because before this Robb Stark had led all the way through season 3, 2 and 3 really, and so this was the first season really without any Starks. So that was interesting to see that, and I miss it. But we gotta trust in the directors and J.R.R. Martin, so he can make some good plays with his storytelling. 7th place, same rank as last time, Joffrey. Hard to move this guy out. He had such a fantastic season for the 3 episodes he was in it. Maybe only 2. He died in the 3rd. Just a pleasure and a terror to watch on screen. Top notch to the actor, Jack Gleason, I think his name is. Just dominated. Hopefully he gets some good roles in the future. And just a real pleasure to watch him. Definitely, I feel like there was this certain void left when he died, as far as King's Landing is concerned, because he's really captivated King's Landing since season 1, really, and it's King's Landing is really not the same place it used to be anymore at all. There's only like 5 people there, 5 major characters there. 6th place. This is Carl Tanner, in case you didn't know who it was or didn't recognize him. I have him on this list because I really, really liked him. This actor absolutely killed this character. I don't think this was actually really a character from the book. It was kind of a mix of Night's Watchman, but he just dominated. I didn't really, obviously, I don't like how he was a rapist. That's not good. However, like I said, this is a TV show. You need good villains. This is a great villain with a really good actor, just like Joffrey. And the only problem was, obviously, he only got 2 or 3 real episodes, unfortunately. What I really wanted to see with this story is I really wanted to see Jon Snow and the Night's Watch go up there and try and, because they were going to try and kill all these guys because they were afraid they were going to get captured by the crows. Not the crows, the wildlings, and get like their fingernails torn off. So I really wanted to see Carl Tanner kill Jon Snow and just absolutely stun the book readers, because Jon Snow is one of those characters who, at least at this point, seems untouchable. Jon Snow, Daenerys, Stannis, and Tyrion, as far as like massive story arcs are concerned. So Carl Tanner, if he had killed Jon Snow right there, it would have been awesome, because this man is supposed to be super skilled. He actually, even in the fight too, was pretty silly, because Carl Tanner actually beat Jon Snow one-on-one. He beat him one-on-one. He was pretty handily beating him, like 70 to 80% of the fight he was dominating. And then some third-party girl had to come in and save Jon's butt. So that was kind of cheap. I was not impressed with that. But anyway, Carl Tanner, we're not going to see any more of him. I really, really wish that he had killed Jon Snow. That would have really blown the top off of the North. That would have been really sick. I can't even believe if that happened. I just want to pretend it did, but I know that's foolishness. Moving on to number 5, Marjorie Tyrell. Again, really good looking. She went down because she didn't have she had like no screen time. Her and Varys really suffered for screen time this season, and I mean she got almost nothing. Basically, her only scene was with Tommen, I think. I mean, other than minor like background scenes, I can't remember many else. And this is that scene. Just really good looking, and a real strong player of the game who I really enjoy every time she's on the screen. But again, not enough screen time, hence she falls. And it's too bad, but there's just other people climbing ahead of her, like Carl Tanner coming out of nowhere. Khal Drogo slipping again over time. You're starting to see more new characters kind of rise and take the nice spots. Khal Drogo was probably I think he might have been my favorite character after season 1 or 2. He's always been in the top 3. Really enjoyed him. I really thought him and Daenerys or Khaleesi were the absolute 1-2 punch of like physicality and smarts, and I really wish we could have seen where they were going to go with that whole relationship. Unfortunately, infection, death, and now Daenerys has dragons. So she's in a different path, but I really would have liked to see Khal Drogo have a little bit more time. Maybe we'll see a prequel video game or something with Khal Drogo. I would be down for that. Pretty much any prequel for Game of Thrones, I'd be down to see. Jorah Mormont. I know so many people. This is the scene where he gets exiled out of that city. I forget which one it's called now. By Daenerys. And I know many people have commented on the YouTube videos that I was watching, and they were talking about how Dany, it's probably on the books, is probably where they're getting it from, where Dany was looking over Jorah's head when she gave this command because she couldn't look him in the eyes because it would like break her spirit. Because she is strong-willed, but she's not as strong as she'd like to think she is, or she'd like other people to think she is, and Jorah knows that. As he said a couple seasons ago, I think she says, "You have a gentle heart, you have a soft heart," which she never liked hearing that, but it was true. And she needs to have a gentle heart at times. And I think, no spoilers, no, please keep the spoilers out of the comments, but I'm pretty sure Daenerys, her climax has already happened, and she's on the downward trend. Especially seeing those dragons get chained up. Just, I can't. She's got to be done. And kicking Jorah out, like that's 2 really bad things to have happen. And she's got a dragon. She doesn't even know where that other dragon, I think it is, or Drogon. I think that might be the dragon's name, the red one. So Jorah, absolutely love him. He's got this like Aussie like survivor like look in him. He's just great. love this actor. I feel like this is the character that I feel like I could be if I was in Game of Thrones, and that's kind of cool because a lot of the characters are so crazy, like Joffrey or like Cersei or like Robert Baratheon or Ned Stark. They're just, I mean, Ned Stark's not that crazy, but just like so out there and so extreme. Not in a bad way, just like so much different than I am, or a lot of people I know are. And so Jorah, I think, is a very straight shooter, just a good guy with good intentions. He's made some bad choices, but he's trying to clear those up as best he can. And obviously, he maybe should have done this differently. But I hope we see more of Jorah. I hope they don't cut off his storyline because I really like him, but I have no idea where this is going to go with him. We could have seen the last of him, which it would be cool if we saw the last of him. But hopefully not. Hopefully we get to see some more of him. What I don't want to have happen is I don't want Jorah to like go off and like become best friends with like Arya or something, like a small world situation. I'm tired of that. Like when Brienne and Podrick ran into Hot Pie. It's just like, it's too small world. I hate that. It's just like Game of Thrones is supposed to have like a couple 100,000 million people. Why is everyone running into each other all the time? Second place, Sansa Stark. What a boss. I almost want to call her Sansa Baelish now, because she's absolutely killing it. She was unranked last season, because all of a sudden she's playing the game. It was actually kind of hard for me to find pictures of her in this season. I don't know why. Another great shot I was looking for was the one where, after her confession, Littlefinger's theme music comes on, and she gives him the eyes, and you just know this girl's playing the game. That's earlier in this episode. I forget this might have been episode 7. This was probably the best episode of the season. I think this was the same one as the Red Vipers season, or episode. It might not have been. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was. It might have been before that, actually. One before that. Anywho, Sansa. Again, she's been called a victim. She's been criticized for not playing the game. For the most part, she's kind of wasted screen time in a lot of ways. But now we're seeing the arc happen. Not to say that she's like programmed to make a huge arc here, but like I think a lot of people are excited to see this new Sansa, and clearly, she's on a tear here. I mean, she hasn't really done anything in a lot of ways, but people are very excited about her in the books. People who have read the books are very excited about her, and that makes me excited about her. I've heard some people say that this outfit was like supposed to look like her mother, which obviously dyeing her hair probably helps her look like her mom a little bit, and she looks more mature in this picture. However, the outfit is really a bird, and Peter Baelish's sigil is a mockingjay, or a mockingbird. Mockingjay, that might be for Hunger Games. I get confused. Anywho, so she's kind of modeling herself after Peter Baelish, which is a great thing to do. Speaking of Peter Baelish, he's number one. He's number one. He absolutely carried this season, along with Prince Oberyn. I don't think Tyrion Lannister did anything. I don't think Daenerys Targaryen did anything. They both were slipping, in my opinion. Neither of them made the list. Daenerys went from like number 1 to off my list this season. Littlefinger absolutely killed it this season. Such a boss. I'm really looking forward to him. This storyline between Littlefinger and Sansa. I mean, I'm kind of putting all my eggs in one basket here, but I couldn't be more excited about these two. Their chemistry and his ruthlessness and her, like, I don't even know what she brings to the table. I don't know what the word is for it, but it works with these two. And they haven't even done anything yet, and it works. That's the crazy thing. All that's happened so far is he's killed his wife, and he did kill Jon Arryn, and Sansa got him out of trouble. That's all they've done, for the most part. I mean, that's not that together. That's all they've done. Sansa hasn't done much, but Peter Baelish has been doing a lot of things. Like he killed Joffrey, and he went from being nothing to having Harrenhal, and now he's kind of the Lord of the Vale, or I think it's the Vale, or Riverrun. He's the Vale of Arryn, maybe. I'm sorry, I get mixed up between all the different jurisdictions in Westeros. So that's my list. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you're as excited about Littlefinger as I am, but don't let that sway your votes. If you don't like Littlefinger that much, don't put him really high on your list. Come up with this list by yourself. It's at first when I wrote my list for this, he was like, I don't have anyone to put in this list. But as the more people I wrote, the more I was like, this is going to get really competitive, and it does. You're going to have people. You're going to probably come up with like. I came up with like 14. I came up with 20 names initially, and cut that down to like 14, and then cut it again to 10, roughly down to 11, and then 10. So you'll have some decisions to make, and it's kind of fun to see, like, who do I like better in this show? Like, do I like Cersei, or do I like Joffrey? Like, who do I like more, you know? Do I like Ned Stark still, or do I like Robb Stark? Or Jon Snow? Jon Snow didn't make my list. I don't know. That's it. Add your top 10s in the comments below, and I will enter your top 10s into the fan video, which will be coming out March 15th, hopefully around like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the season starts is the plan. So thanks so much for watching. Put your comments below. I really enjoy your lists. I love the diversity. And if you want to check out any of their videos, I'll either put a playlist on this slide, or there's another one after this. I can't remember. No, there's no other slides. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.